Alright YouTube, Sinister Ruler here, and welcome to the Lee May Janet Cage Guide. Before we get into that though, of course, I have to ramble about my book. I told you get tired of me talking about it, so don't say I didn't warn you, but it'll be over this month. After this month, I'll stop talking about it, I promise. But anyway, for those who don't know, I wrote a sci-fi novel, and I'm in the stage now where I'm looking for beta readers, who are basically just people who read over the book and give feedback, what they liked about the book, what was unclear, their favorite characters, and things like that. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in doing, you can opt in through my Discord server, which is linked in the description. And the last day to opt in is 2 weeks from today on December 29th. You don't have to do it, but it would really help me out as I can't publish this book without feedback from readers. But now that that's over, let's get into the guide.
What do you get with this team? Well, you get Mime Wall, which is up cameo. And normally this is just, a normal keep away if you don't want them to get close. There's a natural barrier in front of them that they can't cross. But the only way to get over this wall is to jump. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. That makes her a pretty good zoner. If you need to close out a round, or if you have a life lead and you're just trying to burn some time, you can set up Mime Wall, set up a lantern, and that's basically checkmate for them. So Mime Wall is a pretty good zoning tool for Lee May. So ironically, this is not a zoner. Lee May is definitely not a zoner, but you can actually zone with these two moves. And then you can detonate lantern, set up another one. And then, yeah, you can just keep looping that over and over again until the wall eventually goes away. Also, this animation, it's just hilarious. This animation is underrated, but let's go right into up close game plan. So you still have 1-2. 1-2 is your main strike throw tool. You also have throw combos. And you also have this route if you want to keep your pressure going, if you want better Oki. So if you really want to keep your turn, then you go for the second route, because you kind of lose your turn if you end with down back 3, because there's just so much distance between you that you're really not going to be able to get anything guaranteed. Whereas if you go for the safe jump, then obviously it's still your turn, and we'll break basically any armor in the game except for maybe faster, like Natara, Xiao, Johnny. Those armors will probably still win, but for the most part, that's a safe jump. Okay, so now, off of 1-2-4, you really have the same options as you normally do, with the exception of this, neutral cameo nut punch. And it's -6, it is safe, but you're really not going to be using that. You don't use this, you just do not use that move. But what else? You still have all of your strike throw options. You have back 3, you have back 2, you got 1-2, you got grab. You basically got the same strike throw as if you were playing Movado or Scorpion, where it's more similar to Scorpion because you have more frequent throw combos. And that's just me showing you can also keep the same side. So you could keep the same side, you can switch sides. Really, it's just up to your positioning and what you think is best for that moment, but you can always control what side you're going to be on with your throw combos, and that's even in the corner. So that's pretty cool. That's something that you don't get with basically any other cameo, except maybe Chameleon, but Chameleon's not one of her best cameos, at least not top 3. So that's your strike throw. I guess now we can go straight into the B&Bs. I'm gonna try and hit these first try. So that's your basic 10 frame punish. You also have your 7 frame punish, and I don't mean the reverse, I'm just talking about stand 1. So in this case, it's actually more advantageous, or like it does more damage if you do 1-2-4 as opposed to 1-2, and that's different from Movado and Scorpion, where this route where you just omit the last part of the string and go straight from 1-2 and Nova Blast. Usually that does more damage. In this case, it does not. So it's actually more intuitive. You go for the full string and it does more damage as opposed to it being the other way around. Now, what else? Back to 4. So you can see there about 38, 39% off of your mid-high launcher. You also have your 7-frame reversal, which is even, it's very easy no matter like if they're standing, crouching, it's always going to be this. It really does not get much simpler than that. I mean, as long as you know how to get your triple hop punch down, as long as you have that link like consistent, you'll get this combo like 101 times out of 100. This is, I could do this with my, in fact, I'm going to do it. You can't see me, but just trust me, I'm doing this with my back turned. Yep. Couldn't even see it and I still hit it. So you also have your cartwheel, and I'm just gonna set him to stand. And this one's harder than it looks, so. I could not do that one with my eyes closed. It's just, it's way harder. It looks easy. It looks exactly the same as the other ones, but it's not. So you just have to feel out the timing for it, and then you'll get that like probably at least 70% of the time, because it's really just like that strict on the timing. But you also have armored combos. So that one, it's not as hard as cartwheel, but it's also like not as easy as this one. Like that one is so easy, but this one, like that can happen. You can do it like too late or too early. And you also have to dash while you're doing it. So like there's challenges in both combos. They're just different types of difficult, but that's basically your B&B off of most of your like raw special moves, even like raw chain reaction. It's the same thing. That used to do a lot more damage, but yeah, they nerfed it. And even off of this. And then like same thing off of this. So yeah, your B&Bs are pretty much the same except off of back to 4 and anything into EX Nova Blast. That's the only thing that's different. Now I guess we can go straight into corner B&Bs. It's kind of the same as the other ones with with the main difference being after chain reaction. Oh, and as you can see here, I actually forgot because I'm used to playing the other two cameos. You almost never go for the 4-hit safe jump because this is a lot of gravity. That's 4 hits of gravity. Because the chain reaction is 1, the first hot punch is the second one, and then the 2 hits after that at the same time count as 2 separate hits. So that's a total of 4 hits of gravity, and that adds up, especially if you do it more than once. So you're really just going to stick to down back 3-4 safe jump. But what I'm doing is chain reaction, and then right at the end of the animation, around like the 4th or 5th hit, you call Janet, you just buffer the second one, and then like you just press cameo twice. So I'm holding back and just doing cameo twice, and then you just do stand 4, and then stand 4 will launch them high enough to go into the second hot punch, because as you can see, it'll just whiff if you do it normally, but if you do an attack, it'll hit them into the hot punch. And then you can cancel into lantern, and then you do your safe jump. So that'll look like this. into safe jump. So same thing off of 1, 2, 4. In the corner, 1, 2, 4 actually still does less damage than 1, 2. So most of the time, that's what you're going to be doing instead of 1, 2, 4. Like in the corner, it's just like everybody else, like Movado and Scorpion. You're just going to be stopping short and doing 1, 2. But mid screen, it's actually better to do 1, 2, 4. So I know that can be a little weird to keep track of, but you know, once you get the hang of it, once you start doing them, it'll just feel more natural, and you won't have to like memorize them, or you will have them memorized, so you won't have to like think hard about, okay, what combo do I do? Like I said before, I don't actually know if I mentioned this. You actually can't combo your cartwheel in the corner. There's no timing. Like I've tried every possible timing. There's no timing that'll make this work. So you're just gonna have to bail out with 4-3 instead. And that's a short combo, so you can afford to do your regular safe jump there. You can see it's plus 42. But if you did it after a longer combo, like I said in the Scorpion guide, if it's like 20 plus hits, which most Janet combos are, because this is a lot of hits by itself, then, you know, that's how you determine whether or not to go for jump 2, 1, 2, 1. So that is your 4-3 overhead combo. You also have down back 3. Wow. So that's also plus 42. You have armor combos in the corner. Another plus 42. You have throw combos, of course. Wow, I cannot do throw combos when I'm recording a YouTube video. This is like a running joke at this point. Oh, and I actually got it there. I must be cursed or something, because yeah, it's consistent. Every single YouTube video or every single cameo guide that I've done so far, I have not been able to do a throw combo. That's so weird. If your back is to the corner, you have 2 options. Well, that's the first option. So you can go for that option, or well, basically the same thing as the other one, except it's slightly easier. So that's just a matter of preference. They do the same damage, but it's just, if you have a problem like block dashing, you can go for this and this. It does the same damage, so it doesn't really make a difference. And then what else? I am saving back 2-4 for last, because back 2-4 is actually what makes this team so good right now. Back 2-4 actually changes the entire strategy of this team. Because before, the only way to consistently like get Gento out was doing something like, you know, 4-4-3 into like Lantern and then doing it. Now you have another option. And this other option is way more consistent and way better to actually connect. So you're basically going to be getting Gento out more often. But if you're not trying to get Gento out, or if you like don't have the cameo for it, you can just go for this. Another way you can do that is this. So it actually does slightly more damage, but you could argue that's more difficult. They both do like basically the same. It's a difference of 0.2%. So, but really, what you're going to be doing if you have full cameo is this. And that right there is how you get your Gento Vortex started. So I'm going to put him on auto block. Well, actually, no. What I'm going to do is show you that you can't, like, do anything about this. But first, stop jumping. So there's nothing you can do about that. I'm going to try and armor. Can't armor. Gonna try and hold up. Can't do that. Maybe if I delayed wake up, I can do that. Well, actually, if you time it properly, they'll still be grounded no matter what. If I can get this. I think that's it. If not, well, oh well, but there's actually a way to, it doesn't really matter because as you can see, you can convert off of it easily anyway, but if you time it right, it will still keep them grounded, even if they try to delayed wake up, and then you can get an even higher damage combo. And I guess now that we've covered how you're getting into Gento, we can talk about how you actually use it. So that's how you get into it. That's basically the guaranteed way to force them into plus frames. And then once they're in there, I'm going to set them to block. So once they're here, this is like plus 1,000,000. And you have time to jail basically anything that you want. So you can do this. You can go for throw combos, your low combos, and your overhead combos. So also all of that is either safe or plus, with the exception of the grab, because they can always spec a grab. A grab is always going to be a high. But the rest of this is basically jailing mix. And if that hits, you would go into, you know, down 2, into, you know, all that other stuff. If you see my Janet guide, then you know that she gets some serious damage off of Gento setups, but if you haven't, we'll go into the routes and stuff in a little bit, but like a sequence might look something like this. Well, that was actually supposed to be a forward grab, but you know, you can just mix up your options, and then at any moment you have this unreactable overhead. And even if they... Wow, did you see that? Okay, why does that say plus 100 and something? That's weird. It's like plus, if I had to guess, maybe like 17. Plus 218. Okay, don't pay attention to the frame data, because the frame data is just like weird right now. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but... Even if they flawless flush this. That jails. And to prove it, I'm going to set him to duck. So this is a high. All of these punches are highs, yet, you know, he still had to block it. So that's how plus it is, just to give you an idea of how guaranteed all of this mix is. So now, enough about strategy. And now let's go straight into the combo route. So, forward grab. I can't hit throw combos, I forgot. Okay. Since I can't do throw combos, I'm gonna do it off of something that's not a throw, because the route off of your throw is the exact same as forward 4 into Nova Blast, so just keep that in mind.
Girl power. Girl power. Girl power.
There is an easier version of this combo, but So yeah, as you can see, that is a 65% BMB into a safe jump.
Girl
And like I said, same thing off of your grab. Yeah, that is a 31% throw combo into a safe jump. So the only thing left to show is her cartwheel.
Girl power.
Why is that whipping? And that's 60 in the safe jump. So also you have forward 3. If you don't want to do cartwheel, you can also do forward 3. Oh wait, this is the combo. So same thing basically. It's just instead of 1-2, you're doing back 3. Back 3 has like less scaling because this is 2 hits, this is 1 hit. And that's all meterless, by the way. All of these except for cartwheel are meterless, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you want a meterless overhead, you can always just throw this in there. This is also like a potential shimmy because of the way it forward advances, and if people like to duck OS, they're not gonna see this coming. So that's your forward 3. And if they get hit by the original sequence,
Girl power. Girl power.
you can confirm that in time to see if 4-3-1-2 hits, and if it does hit,
Girl power. Girl power.
you can do basically the same combo. Okay, I just dropped it, but that would have done like 1% more if I had gotten the stand 4 to come out. If you're running low on Gento time, like say you've already used a couple of Gento moves, so I'm just gonna like pretend. Okay. I'm just gonna do 2 stand 3s and then there's an easier version of the combo, and I guess I can show that now.
Girl power.
Instead of this into 1-2-4, if you can't hit that, you can just do 2 back 3s instead, which is way easier.
Girl power.
I'm just gonna do the easy combo to show you. You can just cut out one of the chain reaction loops and it'll still work the exact same way. So if you're running low on Gento time, just watch your Gento timer throughout the combo and you can see like how many of these can I do. Most of the time you can do 3, sometimes you can only do 2, sometimes maybe if you're running really low you can only do 1. I think 1 is pretty rare. Most of the time you're going to be able to get at least 2. But yeah, you can just improvise. And some people are probably going to have a hard time with these Gento combos just because you have to really micromanage, you know, Lee May versus Gento. So you have to know when to let go of R1, when to hold it again. So like, you're not really going to be holding block. Like you don't have to really do as much work as like Kenshi with Sento and micromanaging you and the cameo at the same time, because for the most part, when you're still in like recovery from one of your moves, you're not going to be able to, you know, do anything more. Like you're still in recovery, so your character is locked into the animation. Gento actually remembers your inputs. So you can see like she still did all of that even though I mashed all of it in the first frame of her coming out. So you can She's just gonna do everything frame one. So actually, you can take advantage of this mid combo. And what I'm doing right before Lantern, so you can see like I'm doing something like that, except I'm not actually inputting it in the order that I'm doing it now. If you look at my button log, like I did 1, 2, down back 2, let go of R1, forward 4. What I'm actually doing is after the last iteration of this, if you saw that, I did stand 4 or gentle 4 into gentle forward 4 right back to back. And then after that, you don't even have to worry about gentle forward 4 because you already inputted it. So basically that looks like this. So yeah, you can see there, it's easier if you just input it beforehand and then you don't have to worry about the input later. And that's about it for Gento. Gento is like the main appeal of this team. Now the back 2-4 allows you to easily set Gento up. You also have this mime wall, which we already talked about, but in the corner, well, it's actually better for like longer combos. And in this situation, they can't jump, they can't wake up because Gento will literally eat their wake up. They can't down to Gento because they're still in recovery. They have no options against this, which basically means this is a free way to guarantee a mix up off of this. And another thing, well, I guess I'll just go straight in the Lantern. Like you can just sit there and run away if you want. Like you can just play with Gentle Mime Wall or maybe go for offense and try and get like a Lantern in the 4-3. There's so many options off of this setup because you're basically forcing them to just sit there the entire time. In fact, just to show you, like what is Kenshi really gonna do about this? And I'm gonna do it again. Like, what is he gonna do? He can't do anything. So in the corner, you can also use Mime Wall after combos just to make it like to where they can barely move. And that is so strong. Like that is crazy strong. So that's about all you get with Janet. And I know you actually get a lot. You get Mime Wall, you get Gento setups, you get throw combos, you get really good strike throw because of that. You get armor combos, which is new. You get easy 7-frame reversal combos. What else? Cartwheel, except in the corner, but 4-3. You get a lot with this team, but it's still not as good as the other two, I would say, even though you get like a lot. And Janet is actually my favorite cameo in this game. Just to play and like just in general, I like Janet's design, but I don't know. I don't think that I can make a comparison guide between all 3 of her best cameos if y'all would like that. Since I already did Movado and Scorpion, it's natural for me to do a comparison guide for all 3, and I can do that. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the guide. So I appreciate everybody for making it this far in the video, and yeah, take care. Sinister out.